Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 2 of the USA eBaseball Power League. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Rob Tomlinson, dishing at 34, your commissioner for the USA eBaseball Power League, and it is a fantastic day to be here and talk to you about what is coming up for the USA eBaseball Power League for the 2025 season. This is the 4th season of USA eBaseball Power League play overall, but only the 2nd season of our partnership with USA Baseball, which has been just an absolutely fantastic thing that we have had for the past year plus. I am so excited to be here today. Zoomy, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Today is a fantastic day. We're going to be talking a little bit about what to expect with the league this year, and then we are going to do the draw for the draft. Now, the draft's going to be a little bit different this year in terms of how the order is decided, so stay tuned for that. And I think that the draft order is going to be something that Slimefall is going to be looking forward to, given his luck in draft positioning in the past. But welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a big day. Welcome in Kang Gang. I see Dracon in here, Zumikaku, Big Sid, Greg the Egg, Slimefall, Dat Shadow, Cool Clam. Ezra Denny is in here as well. A lot of people in here. Compass as well. Slime. One of our league admins, Sir Bacon Bits, is here. We have a full house today. I really appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully the audio balance is okay. We'll figure that out as we go. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want to give you a little preview of what is to come here today. As you can see, there's the balls right there. There are 2 pots right there with names and numbers for the top 6 spots in the draft. That's right, we will have 6 newcomers to the league this year that we will be drafting the top 6 spots for. Oh man, heck yeah, I do like these balls in particular. These are very, very convenient. Oh man, but welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic Saturday so far. Oh man, are y'all looking forward to this? Because I think y'all are looking forward to this just as much as I am. Like, this is incredible stuff. This is absolutely incredible stuff. I am so looking forward to this. I know Big Sid's excited. Compass is excited. Oh man, oh man. King is already calling himself Slime's GM. Well, we'll talk a little bit about King Gang here in a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the league. As we all know, this is a big, big deal in the Power Pros community ever since WBSC eBaseball Power Pros was released back in 2023. Can you believe it's been 27 months since the release of WBSC eBaseball Power Pros for the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4/5. I can't believe it's been that long that we have known a lot of our people here today. Oh man, I know I've known Zoomy for a long, long time than that. I know there's a lot of people that came in with the release of WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. It has been a hell of a ride so far these past 27 months, and I cannot wait to see what this league and the WBSC eBaseball series has in store for this year. Now, real quick, I do want to talk a little bit about what's the league? What are we doing here? What is this league? So let's go ahead and get to our slide deck for the afternoon, and we will talk about what we have going on. So here we go. Talk a little bit about our league here today. Yeah, and it's been great having new and old fans together in this league. I totally agree with you on that one, Zumi. So let's talk a little bit about what is the USA eBaseball Power League. Well, the USA eBaseball Power League, this is the competitive league for WBSC eBaseball Power Pros for players in the United States and its territories. This is the big show, pretty much, for the Power Pros community as a whole here in the Power Pros community in the United States. This is huge stuff here, folks. We have 18 players that will be competing in a 9-week, 9-matchup regular season starting in mid-May, with the top 8 players making it to our 3-week playoffs, ending off with the Summit Series, our league championship. The quarterfinals and semifinals are a best of 3 series. Summit Series, as we all know, is a best of 5. Now, what makes this league unique is that each player before the season gets to draft their own team of 19 characters, and that draft begins on May 9th. So we are just 6 days away from the start of the draft for the USA eBaseball Power League. This is huge stuff right here. And of course, we are partnered with USA Baseball, which unlocks quite a few things in terms of U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands. We gotta represent the Northern Mariana Islands here. And Puerto Rico mentioned, yes, indeed. Oh man, but you know what? There's quite a bit that is at stake here in this particular league. And that is this. The USA eBaseball Power League. This is being used as a qualifying event for the eBaseball Series, the WBSC eBaseball Series USA Finals in-person tournament, which is happening later this year. Oh man, we have had some Power League alumni make it to the USA Finals and actually make it to the big stage internationally. That's right, we had just last year, actually, in our first season under USA Baseball Partnership, we had YG and Compass make it to the E-Premier 12 out of the USA Finals, along with John's Copyright, who also participated in the league and qualified via the USA Cup, which is pretty cool stuff. Now, the player with the best regular season record and the player who wins the Summit Series Championship will automatically qualify for the eBaseball Series USA Finals, and they will join the top 4 USA players in the USA Open online tournament, which is happening September 1st through 7th. Oh yeah, and Slimefall was in the league as well. He made it via the USA Cup. We also had M. Frisk make it via the USA Cup. He was participating in the league last year. We had quite a few people. We had quite a few people make it last year. We had 6 players, and I do believe all but one of them played in the league last season. We will talk about that one player who did not play in the league last season a little bit later. So, whoever wins the eBaseball Series USA Finals later this year will qualify for the WBSC eBaseball Series 2025 World Finals. Oh man. So there is a lot at stake here with this league. Now, let's talk a little bit about the rule set for the USA eBaseball Power League. This is just a quick rundown of what players can expect. All games, all matches during the regular season, they are going to be 3-game series against a specific opponent per week. All games in the series are going to be 9 innings with up to 15 innings total. There is a 7-run mercy rule for each game. We will have a designated hitter enabled. However, players can still use their pitchers in the batting lineup, kind of like what you would see for a Shohei Ohtani type. Spotlight is off, no pitch time skip, so no outside shenanigans. No outside shenanigans. We keep a good pace going with our games. There will be tiebreaker rules, so extra innings will start with runners on first and second and nobody out. Lock-on limit is 0. There is no lock-on in this league whatsoever. No lock-on whatsoever, and that is another thing that makes this league unique. This is one of the toughest challenges in Power Pros, in my personal opinion. New this year, we are instituting a required fielding type. Now, there's a few fielding types that are available in WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. There's pinpoint fielding, there's area fielding, and then there's no cursor fielding type. This year, we are going to be instituting the area fielding type. Now, that means that the yellow circle that you see on the field of where the ball is going to land will be moving based on the wind. So it gives you the area of where the ball is going to land, but you don't know exactly where the ball is going to land. That's going to institute a little bit more of a challenge for our competitors in terms of fielding, and it's going to give a little bit more influence to any wind that may occur during our games this year. So this could get a little bit interesting, folks. And as always, the stadium for the USA eBaseball Power League is going to be Crown Stadium, the classic championship stadium. Everybody knows and loves it. Pretty cool stuff. No real changes to the pitcher rules, except there's not a whole lot of changes to the pitcher rules this year, but there is going to be one change that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But the basics for pitching. All pitchers must face a minimum of 3 batters or complete the half inning in which they began pitching. This is kind of based on the Major League Baseball rule for a 3-batter minimum. And there are rest requirements based on innings pitched. So if you pitch between 0 and 1 innings, you do not have to rest your pitcher for any specific games. If you pitch an inning and a third to 3 innings, that pitcher will get 1 game of rest. If that pitcher pitches 3 1/3 to 6 innings, that's 2 games of rest. 6 1/3 to 9 innings pitched, that is 3 games of rest. And if you pitch more than 9 innings, that's a whopping 4 games of rest. That's a lot of rest, folks. So this also encourages people to kind of use their pitching wisely during games and during the regular season as a whole. So with that being said, there's a new rule this year that we implemented prior to the season, and that is that players who pitch and are removed from the pitcher's role at any time during an individual game will not be permitted to return to pitching in that particular game. Any players that return to the mound after being taken out of the pitcher's role during a game will receive a 1-game rest penalty for the player in question. Now, we implemented this rule due to what I do believe is an exploit that we have seen that has been kind of going around the Japanese Power Pros community, where we have seen players get put in first as a starter then taken out, moved around a couple positions, and then they come back to the mound with the Tyrant ability and the starter's stamina still intact. So we have implemented a rule to kind of discourage that strat from being used in the league play in this competitive setting. So that's something that we've implemented for this particular season. There's a lot of rules that are in the rulebook this year. I will go ahead and share the link to that in the chat if anybody wants to take a look at that, if they have not already. We also encourage our players to use to take a look at the rulebook and just kind of take a look at it, get familiarized with it, because there's a lot of rules on procedures, gameplay, transactions, etc. that I really don't have a whole lot of time to get through here on today's stream. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what you all came here for today. And that, my friends, is the draft. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for revealing the draft order. Now, we have a draft system that is kind of a snake draft. It is a snake draft here. So, the number 1 pick in round number 1 is going to go last in round number 2. Pick number 18 in round 1 will pick first in round 2. And just kind of snakes around like that through the 19 rounds that we will have in the draft. Now, a little bit different this year in terms of how we determine the draft order. Since we have a whole lot of returning players this year, this season's draft order will be determined based on a combination of 2 factors. One of them is placing in last year's USA eBaseball Power League for returning players and newness to the league. We'll go ahead and get the chat box up here right now. Now, any newcomers to the league that are selected for the league will have priority in the draft order, with their position in the draft order determined by today's draw. Then returning players to the league will fill out the rest of the draft order based on their record and playoff positioning from the 2024 USA eBaseball Power League season. This means that the deeper that a player reached the playoffs, the lower their first round draft pick will be. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about our draft order for this year. And then we'll talk a little bit about the players and how they're coming into this league as well, some of their accomplishments. So, with those rules in place, that means we're going to start from the bottom and we're going to go a little bit and we're going to go up from there. So we're going to see pick 18 first, then 17, then 16, then so forth. So here we go. Our number 18 pick is going to be last season's USA eBaseball Power League Summit Series champion, and that is Compass. Now, Compass last season, 19-8 record, a plus 47 run differential. He finished in 4th in the league. He had a very fantastic season, finished just a couple of games out of the top spot in the league in the regular season. And then he just kind of went off in the playoffs. He swept the North Pole No Sox in the quarterfinals, 2-0, and then he took down YG's Green Revolution in the semifinals to make it to the Summit Series Championship, 2-0, and then in the finals took it to a 5th game against the North Shore Honu, where he won Game 5 in an epic 2-1 victory. Compass then went on to make it to the USA Finals, where he qualified as one of the 3 participants that came out of the USA Finals for the E-Premier 12, where he finished, where he lost to, I believe, John's Copyright in the bracket play of Group A of the E-Premier 12. So Compass has a lot to live up to, has some expectations coming into this year. We'll see how he does from here. So there's your number 18 pick. Now let's go to pick number 17. We talked about them just a little bit ago, and that is going to be Zumi Kaku. Zumi Kaku is going to be our number 17 pick in the USA eBaseball Power League draft. Zumi Kaku, my goodness, this guy's season was absolutely incredible. About the best you can do without making it to Raleigh for the USA eBaseball Finals. Oh man. Zumi Kaku just barely missed out. Just barely missed out on the automatic qualifier to the E-Premier 12 USA Finals. Finished with a record of 20-7, tied for second, but got the tiebreaker on run differential with a plus 61. Finished just 1 game back of the Green Revolution for the automatic berth to the USA Finals via best regular season record. But they were one of the best offenses in the league last year. Plus 61 run differential. Only person better was Penguin Pouch's Soda Beer Sunrise at a plus 76. Scored 115 runs. Zumi Kaku is a very, very good offensive player. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with here during this season. In the playoffs, he took down the Crowhoppers 2-1 in the quarterfinals, the only quarterfinal to go all 3 games, and then took down the Philadelphia Bandits, coming back from down 1-0 in the semifinals to win 7-5 in Game 2 in 10 innings, and then a 4-3 win in Game 3 in 10 innings. So Zumi Kaku might be a bit on a revenge tour coming into this season. As we know, lost to the Space City Comets in the Summit Series Championship. So Zumi Kaku is going to be pick number 17 in our draft order this season. It'll be interesting to see what kind of a team he's going to build this season. All right, number 16 pick in Season 2 draft for the USA eBaseball Power League. It is going to be B. Farrell 10. B. Farrell 10 is back in the league for the 2nd season in a row. B. Farrell 10. Last season with his Philadelphia Bandits, he finished in 3rd place in the USA eBaseball Power League with a record of 20-7 with a plus 39 run differential. 96 runs scored. That total was 3rd best in the league. Oh boy, this guy was a very, very good player last year, and it is great to see him back again. Philadelphia Bandits, 20-7 like we mentioned. And then in the playoffs, defeated the Soda Beer Sunrise 2-0 in the quarterfinals, and then lost a couple of heartbreaking games for him right at the end of the semifinals. Up 1-0 on the North Shore Honu, then lost in 10 innings in both Game 2 and Game 3 to lose in the semifinals. Yeah, and I agree. B. Farrell was very much slept on this year. B. Farrell very, very much slept on last year. Now that people know what to expect, I'm very curious to see how he's going to do this year. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Heck, these 3 right here at the bottom, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with, along with our number 15 pick in the USA eBaseball Power League Season 2 draft. That is going to be the defending United States champion in WBSC eBaseball Power Pros, YG. That's right, folks. YG is back in the league for this season, and he is coming off a regular season championship and automatic berth to the E-Premier 12 USA Finals last season. He finished with a record of 21-6 with 88 runs scored, 44 runs against, which was the second best mark in the league. So YG going to be picking number 15 here in the draft. 21-6 record like we mentioned, and in the playoffs defeated the Lost City Monarchs in 2 games, 4-3 in 16 innings in game number 1, and then won game number 2, 5-1. And then he lost in 2 games in a sweep to the Space City Comets to end his fantastic season. But YG won the USA Cup, made it to the USA Cup in Raleigh, North Carolina. Made it to the USA Finals in North Carolina, and then just absolutely went on a tear. Qualified for the E-Premier 12 through the USA Finals, and then made it all the way to the last game that he could play in to qualify for the World Finals for the E-Premier 12 Super Round. And it was a very, very close game between him and Ben Zen, but it was Ben Zen coming out on top 2-1 in the finals in that championship game, sending Ben Zen to Tokyo, and YG surprisingly staying home. But it was a great match either way. I'm looking forward to seeing how YG does this year. Will he defend his title? Will he defend his title in the USA Finals this year? So this is based off last season, and the new people have the first couple picks. That is true, Mr. Plasma. That is true. And I agree, Big Sid. Game was crazy. I totally agree with you on that. I was there. That was a crazy game to watch. And you know what? Both players, you know what I loved about that game? That both players were very much happy for each other. We're very happy for each other about that game afterwards. I mean, that was an incredible reaction. It just goes to show the camaraderie we have in the Power Pros community, that everybody is lifting everybody up, and that's what we love to see. That is what we love to see. Everybody lifting each other up in the community, playing their best. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So YG going to be picking number 15. And now let's talk about our number 14 pick. And that is going to be MC Scales. MC Scales returning for Season 2 of the USA eBaseball Power League. MC Scales, honestly, he was a little bit slept on during the regular season last year. Made it in as the number 7 seed to the playoffs and made it to the quarterfinals, where he was defeated by the North Shore Honu in 3 games. And let me tell you, the Crowhoppers, they went on a very big late season surge to finish 17-10 during the regular season. Only a +6 run differential though, so there's a little bit of room for improvement for the Crowhoppers and MC Scales coming in to the regular season this season. So MC Scales, 7th seed, made it to the playoffs, lost in 3 to the North Shore Honu. But man, oh man, they're going to be very interesting to watch, especially given the pick that they will have, number 14. So there is pick number 14, MC Scales. And now let's go to our number 13 pick in the USA eBaseball Power League draft. And that is going to be Big Sid, coming in at number 13 on the draft order. Now, Big Sid last year just barely missed out. Just barely missed out on making the playoffs. Finished with a record of 15-12, tied for 8th with the Lost City Monarchs in terms of record, but lost the tiebreaker of run differential by 14 runs during the regular season. Oof. So close to making it to the playoffs last season. Man, oh man. But Big Sid showed a lot of promise. In the league last year on Lock On Zero. And I am looking forward to seeing how he does during the regular season this year. Because he had some games where he was just absolutely on fire. Like, I'm looking through some of these games here. Let's see. Took down the Purple Hurricanes in week 7. That was Slimefall's team. And then he swept the Flickin' Squibs in week 8 to give him a chance. Let's see. He took a game off of Penguin Pouch and the Soda Beer Sunrise in their series in week 6. He had a very good season. Even defeated Zumikaku's North Shore Honu in one game, 7-0 in 8 innings. So he's got a bit of a pedigree. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is gonna go. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does this year. You have Big Sid saying he hopes to exceed everyone's expectations. We'll see what happens. It'll come down to how you draft, my man. Yeah, and Zumi is saying, Sid, man, I'm absolutely terrified of all of you who have a season of experience now. This is going to be interesting, Zumi. This is going to be, I think a lot of people have learned a lot from last year's USA eBaseball Power League. I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of adjust for next season, especially since there's a few new players that were entered into the game that between this year and last year in terms of characters into the game. Let's go to pick number 12, and pick number 12 is going to be Slimefall. Slimefall is going to be taking pick number 12 in round 1 of the USA eBaseball Power League draft. Now, last year, Slimefall had a bit of an up and down season. Finished with a record of 13-14, finished in 10th place, just ahead of M.Frisk's Dot Crew, a negative 10 run differential, but 80 runs was the second best mark of folks that did not make the playoffs last year. So that is pretty cool right there. Slimefall, you know him, you love him. You love how he slimes some balls as well. You know, changing from contact to power right at the last second. You know him for Samba Matsu. Will he draft Samba Matsu this year? That's going to be a storyline going into the draft. But Slime is best known in last year's USA eBaseball Power League for stopping Zumikaku from winning the regular season title. That was a big series right at the end of last season between the Purple Hurricanes and the North Shore Honu. Hurricanes winning game 1 11-5. Zumikaku needed to win 2 games to win the regular season title. And Slimefall won 2 of 3. Won game 1 11-5. Zumi won game 2 7-2, and then Slimefall winning game 3 by a close 3-2 margin. But Slimefall, he also made it to Raleigh last year via the USA Cup online tournament, and in that tournament he had a very good showing. He made it to, I believe, the last game of qualifiers. I believe it was against John's Copyright, where he lost to John's Copyright in that game to just miss out on qualifying for the E-Premier 12. It was either John's Copyright or Compass in that game. I forget which one it was, but just missed out on making it to the E-Premier 12 Super Round last year. So Slimefall's a lot of promise. A lot of promise after just making it to Raleigh. He had to pull an all-nighter just to make it to Raleigh. It was Compass. Ah, okay. Thank you, Slime. I appreciate it. I appreciate the clarification on that. But Slimefall, he is back in the USA eBaseball Power League. It's going to be a fun time. All right, pick number 11 in the USA eBaseball Power League draft. It is going to be Jeff DeBoss making a return to the USA eBaseball Power League. Jeff DeBoss, he played as the Smooth Jazz last season. Finished with a record of 12-15, finished in 12th place in the league, a negative 30 run differential. But there's a lot of potential for the Smooth Jazz in here. He had a few big moments in the regular season. Took 2 of 3 from Big Sid. Took 2 of 3 from X-Long. Let's see. Took 2 of 3 from the Hampton County Tabby Cat. Took 1 of 3 from the Crow Hoppers. And then I believe took 2 of 3 from M.Frisk's Dot Crew in the last week of the season. So, you guys like Jazz? Jeff DeBoss is back in the league for this season. Kane Gang is saying in the chat, where is John? People are wondering where John's copyright is. Well, I have good news for you, Kane Gang, because John's copyright is pick number 10 in the USA eBaseball Power League draft coming into this season. Yes, John's copyright, who made it all the way to the finals, to the final game of the E-Premier 12 Group A. John's copyright made it all the way to Group A of the E-Premier 12 and lost an absolute heartbreaker of a game for qualification to Dashu 8-0 in that final game. 8-1, I believe it was, in that final game. But man, oh man, John's copyright, he has a lot of potential coming into this season. Last year, in the USA eBaseball Power League, finished with a record of 9-18, finished in 14th place in the league, 9-18. Oh, but one of the best run differentials, second best run differential of those who did not make the playoffs at -7. Scored 61 runs, gave up 68. Some pretty good numbers for those that did not make the playoffs. So John's copyright has a lot of potential and no lock on play. I'm very curious to see with him with a top 10 pick. Very curious to see how he's going to build a team. But John's copyright made it to the USA Finals via the USA Open, the USA Cup. Was one of the 3 that qualified from the USA Finals to the E-Premier 12 tournament. All right, pick number 9. Pick number 9 in the USA eBaseball Power League this season. It is going to be Matt. Matt is back, and no, we do not mean the eSports legend, Matt. But Matt is back in the league this year. Finished in 15th place in the EPL last year with a record of 9-18. Same record as John's copyright, but had a much worse run differential. In fact, gave up the most runs in the league last year at a 112. So Matt, last year, it was a bit of a rough season for him. But he is definitely hoping to kind of rebound a little bit from his season last year and try to, make it to try to make it to the playoffs this season. So Matt is going to be pick number 9 in the draft. Now we go to pick number 8, and that, my friends, is going to be X-Long X. X-Long X, who I do believe, if I am looking at the applications correctly, is our oldest player in the field this year. X-Long X is our oldest player in the field this year. We got a lot of youngins in this league, but X-Long, he is the oldest player by age in this league. He was a trade wizard last year, 100%, despite going 5-22 and finishing in 16th place with a negative 61 run differential. There's a lot of room for him to go up. There's a lot of room for him to go up in the standings this year now that he has a season under his belt. Very curious to see how he's going to do coming into this season. And finally, the number 7 pick of the USA eBaseball Power League Draft, our final returning player coming back for this season. It is going to be Clutch 1908 coming back to the USA eBaseball Power League for, I believe, this is going to be his 4th season at the eBaseball Power League structure level. Clutch, last year, very, very tough for him. 4-23, last place in the league, but there's still a lot of potential for Clutch. He had a few games where he was very, very good, but 31 runs scored, 101 runs against. Wasn't great last year, but now with a season of eBaseball Power League of eBaseball Power League play with the USA Baseball Partnership under his belt, very curious to see how he's going to improve for next season. So, those are your returning players to the USA eBaseball Power League for 2025. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you liking this field so far? How are you guys liking this field so far? I think, just with the names that we have coming back, I feel that this is a very, very strong league. Very strong league coming into this year. But there are 6 spots still up for grabs. And that is going to be filled by our 6 newcomers to the league this year. So, let's take a little time and get to know our 6 newcomers to the USA eBaseball Power League for Season 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start off by talking about Hokovy. Hokovy is our first newcomer for Season 2. Last season, played in the Sunshine League, our secondary league for those who signed up, did not make it into the USA EPL. Last season, in the Sunshine League, he made it all the way to the Relegation Championship Series against Senile Turtles' Zeps team, winning that 3-1 in that series. Finished 13-11 on the record, finished in 5th place in the 8-player Sunshine League last year. So very good potential for Hokovy to really make some noise in the league, especially in no lock-on play. A winning record in the Sunshine League, not something to shake a fist at here. So Hokovy, your first newcomer for Season 2. Our second newcomer to the league is a relatively new player to the community, and that is Dat Shadow 17. Dat Shadow, a relative newcomer to the Power Pros community, as we see Hokovy waving in the chat. Welcome in. Glad to have you in the league this year, sir. Dat Shadow 17 did not play last year in the USA EPL. Just missed out on making it into the Sunshine League, missed the cutoff for registration, but he has been a menace in online play. He is an S rank in online tournament play in WBSC eBaseball Power Pros with a PR as of his application at 53.69. That is up there with some of the better players in WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. 53.69 PR, that's nothing to shake a stick at, folks, but the question is, how is he going to adjust to no lock-on play? Very curious to see how that is going to happen. So there's our first two newcomers to the league. Let's talk a bit about our next two newcomers. Our next one is going to be Brando Scotti. Brando Scotti, who had an absolutely fantastic season in the Sunshine League last year, finished with a record of 18-6, third place in the Sunshine League. Oh man, it is. When I saw Brando Scotti's application come through, oh, I was so excited to have him on board this year. Brando Scotti made it to the championship semifinals based on his third place finish in the Sunshine League last year, and took a game off of Ben Zen, who was fourth place in Tokyo in the E-Premier 12 last year. That Ben Zen. Brando Scotti took a game off of Ben Zen in a 3-game series. If that is not a resume builder right there, I don't know what to tell you. But Brando Scotti, he's gonna be a wild card this year. I bet you anything. He's gonna be a wild card this year in the EPL. And then we have Fleet Admiral Shelley. Fleet Admiral Shelley, you might otherwise know him as Handheld. Last season did not participate in the USA eBaseball Power League, but what you might know Fleet Admiral Shelley / Handheld for is his great run in the 2024 USA Cup online tournament, just missing out on making it to Raleigh for the USA Finals last season. Finished in 5th among US players in the 2024 USA Cup tournament, just barely missing out on the last spot in the tournament. If it wasn't for Slime Fall's insane run, they would have been in Raleigh. So they're, like Compass said in the chat, Slime-Shelley rivalry probably already in the works. We'll see how that goes. All right, folks, now there's 2 more players that are coming to Season 2 of the USA eBaseball Power League. And oh boy, am I excited for these 2. I am so excited for these 2 right here. Because these are probably 2 of the best players that we have in the US Power Pros community that were not in the league last year. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg the Egg and Kang Gang are coming to Season 2 of the USA eBaseball Power League. I feel like I should get some boss music going right now. Just you know what? I'm gonna get the boss music going because that is the soundtrack they deserve for this. All right, Greg the Egg, last season unfortunately was not able to sign up for EPL. Played in the Sunshine League last year and absolutely wrecked shop. 21-3 record, finished in 1st in the Sunshine League. Oh man. And he won the Sunshine Championship Series against Ben Zen 3-1 in the finals of that tournament. Greg the Egg, he has been a menace in a lot of community-run tournaments in his gameplay, I should say. Throughout his time playing WBSC eBaseball Power Pros, he's going to factor into the top 4 this year. I bet you anything. And then finally, we have Kang Gang. And this is the first time, folks, that Kang Gang has ever played in the EPL structure. I went back through the last few seasons of the USA eBaseball Power League, even before we had USA Baseball affiliation. I went back, I was looking for Kang Gang. I did not see him. So this is his first time in the league structure. And you know what? This is absolutely perfect for him to be in EPL in the first one. Now, this does not mean that Kang Gang is a stranger to WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. He might say I'm a newbie in the chat. That's only for league play, because he was 4th place in the baseball event at the Olympic eSports Series 2023 in Singapore. He was runner-up in the USA Finals in November 2023. He was tied for 5th in the ePremier 12 USA Finals in October of last year. So Kang Gang probably has one of the biggest resumes of anyone in this particular field. So this guy is going to be one heck of a competitor coming in to Season 2. But the question is how everybody is going to adjust to no lock-on play, because there are some here that have not played on no lock-on. So I'm very, very curious to see how each of our newcomers adjusts to the environment of EPL. And that was one of the big questions that was surrounding YG coming into last year of the USA eBaseball Power League, if I recall correctly. Because YG, he was a USA finalist. He did very well in that tournament, beat Kang Gang to make it to Switzerland in March of 2024 for that World Finals. And there were questions coming in for YG about whether or not he was going to adjust to the no lock-on play. And then what happened? He won the regular season title. So Kang Gang is definitely going to have maybe a little bit of an uphill battle in terms of adjustments. But if it was anything like we saw with YG last year, this could be a guy to challenge for the regular season title. But we shall see how that goes, because anything can happen in the EPL. Anything can happen in the EPL. I am so looking forward to this regular season, folks. You have no idea. So those are your 6 players that will be vying for the top 6 picks in our draft draw today. Now, here's some notes about the draft draw that we are about to conduct. Here's how it works. There are 2 bowls of lottery balls that will be used. One bowl has the names of the players that are new to the league that you just met on stream. The other bowl has the draft positions. Now, the balls have been filled by a neutral third party. I did not see any of the names that are in the balls. I have no clue which ball holds who. I am completely blind going into this. Shout out to that neutral third party that filled up the balls for this particular draw. Now, we are going to be drawing names first, and then draft position. And whatever is drawn will be the position the players will take in the first round of the USA eBaseball Power League Draft. So, folks, it is the moment you have all been waiting for. It is the moment you have all been waiting for. It is time for the draw. Here we go, folks. Let's go ahead and turn that down, and let's get this one going here. Yeah. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's figure out what we got going on here. So let's go ahead and get this chair out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Hopefully that is completely out of the way. And let's go ahead and get this going. Now I'm going to try to throw the camera down here. I'm going to try to throw the camera down here a little bit so you can see the balls okay. And I'm probably also going to move my microphone over to our stage here, our table. Just so y'all know what we have going on. Let's go ahead and move our camera down here a little bit. Alright. So, let's get started, folks. Alright. So, our first name that we are going to be selected out of our 6. Gotta love the ambient sound here, folks. Alright, this is something that only FIFA can do. Only FIFA can do this as well, but you know what? We can do it better. We got glass bowls. We got plastic balls. This is awesome, awesome stuff. Alright. Our first name that will be getting their draft position. As soon as I can get this open. It is going to be Greg the Egg. Greg the Egg is going to get his draft position first. He's got a 1 in 6 shot of it being the number 1 pick. But which number is it going to be? Let's see what one it's going to be. Greg the Egg is going to be pick number 5. Greg the Egg is going to be pick number 5 coming in to this season. Awesome, awesome stuff. So, top 5 pick for Greg the Egg. That's a big number to start things off with. Got a lot of oohs in the chat here. Ooh. Ooh. All right. I think some people were expecting Greg to get number 1 pick, so a little bit of an upset early. He would be pick number 1, but the inflation on exit. Oh, we love a good inflation joke around here. All right, our second player that's going to be getting their pick is going to be it's going to be Dat Shadow. Dat Shadow is going to be getting his pick next. Kang, I did not mean it like that. Dat Shadow is going to be getting pick number 2. Dat Shadow is going to be getting pick number 2 in the draft. So big number for Dat Shadow coming into the league as the number 2 pick in the draft. Oh my goodness. So we have just 3, we have 4 more. 4 more left to decide. Who is it going to be? Our next player that is going to be getting their pick is going to be Hokaby. Hokaby will be getting our next pick. What pick will Hokaby get? We have numbers 1, 3, 4, and 6 available. And Hokaby will be getting pick number 6. So Hokaby will be getting pick number 6 in this year's draft. So Hokaby a little bit unlucky there for Hokaby his first time around, but we'll see how they adjust. We'll see how they adjust. All right, so pick number 6, you know, that's kind of almost, that's near the middle there. That can be a pretty advantageous pick, all things considered. I know some of the top folks are going to be gone by that time, but we'll see how that goes. Top 6, though, still pretty good. All right, our next player that's going to be getting their draft pick is going to be Brando Scotty. Brando Scotty will be getting his pick next. We still have picks 1, 3, and 4 available, so a top 4 pick for Brando Scotty. It's just a matter of which one it's going to be. And Brando Scotty will be getting pick number 1. Brando Scotty is your number 1 overall pick in the Season 2 draft. Congratulations to Brando Scotty, your number 1 pick in the 2025 Season 2 draft for the USA eBaseball Power League. Congratulations to Brando Scotty, which means we have numbers 3 and 4 left to go. Oh boy, Brando's gonna have a lot of pressure as that number 1 pick. That's gonna be big. That's gonna be big. All right, so our next player is going to be getting their pick. It's going to be Shelly. Shelly will be getting their pick next. There's only 2 spots it could be. It's going to be number 3 or number 4. Number 3 or number 4. Which one is Shelly going to get? And Shelly will be getting pick number 4. So Shelly will be getting pick number 4. All right. And so that is going to mean that our former USA champion, Kenge, is going to be getting pick number 3. So Kenge is going to be a top 3 pick in the draft. Congratulations. So your top 6: Brando Scotty, number 1. Dat Shadow, number 2. Kangang, number 3. Shelly at number 4. Grenviag at number 5. Hokaby at number 6. Great stuff. Great stuff coming into this season, folks. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. So let's go ahead and we will get that on our slides here. So yeah, this is a scary order here, folks. This is a scary order. I mean, we got plenty of folks. We got plenty of great folks here that are going to be getting a very high pick. I am very curious to see how they're going to use their picks. I mean, there's a lot of new folks that were added to the game just in the last year since the last league. So Brando Scotty is going to be at number 1. Then you have Dat Shadow at number 2. You have Kangang at 3. You have Shelly at 4. Then you have Greg the Egg at 5. And Hokaby at 6. All right. Good stuff here, folks. Good stuff. Man, oh man. So, let's go ahead and take a look real quick at our final order. There it is. Brando Scotty at 1, Dat Shadow at 2, Kangang at 3, Shelly at 4, Greg the Egg at 5, Hokaby at 6, Clutch at number 7, Xlong X at number 8, Matt at number 9, John's Copyright at 10, Jeff DeBoss at 11, Slimefall at 12, Big Sid at 13, MC Scales at 14, YG at 15, B Farrell 10 at 16, Zumikaku at 17, and Compass at 18. So with that being said, folks, that means there is your draft order when the draft begins on Friday, I believe May 9th. May 9th is going to be when the draft begins, May 9th at noon Eastern Time. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there on the Discord for the draft. May 3rd through 8th is going to be a buffer period for our players to complete their safe sport requirements. We are going to be hoping to get those emails out soon if we have not sent those already via USA Baseball. If you have filled out the safe sport requirements last year, you're going to be taking a refresher course. If you are brand new to the league, you will be getting the full course for safe sport and background check requirements. All right, so keep a watch on y'all's emails, folks, for that information. All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the draft draw and introduction to Season 2 of the USA eBaseball Power League. We hope to see you on the diamond very, very soon. Best of luck to everybody. Draft starts on May 9th in the Power Pros World Discord. Have a great day, everybody. I've been Robert Tomlinson, DishNet 34, the commissioner of the USA eBaseball Power League. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.